G'day guys, Ron here from Osborne Digital Marketing. Today I'm going to show you my favorite 15 free SEO tools. Let's jump straight into it. First one off the rank is Rank Math. So I find this is a brilliant SEO tool that you can utilize. You install it on the back end of your WordPress website and it takes it from there. So it's very, very good for anyone that's new or an experienced SEO individual, because it just has a ton of features. You can do a ton of things with this plugin, and you know the free features that this plugin offers, you have to pay for on other plugins, and especially have to pay for it if you have Yoast. So I highly recommend this tool if you're launching your WordPress website. Highly recommend installing this. This is what we utilize on all of our clients' websites because it's the best. The second one is the Ahrefs free tools. Now, obviously being free, you can't do a lot of stuff as you can with a paid subscription, but it's enough. If you're a small business and you're looking at creating one piece of content a month, this is brilliant. This is honestly excellent for you. You can check out some keywords, you can analyze the backlinks, I've got videos on backlinks and SEO, and I cover it all. So the average person can utilize the information that I create and gain a bit of an understanding about SEO and utilize that to better their website. Now, what you're going to do with this is you are going to analyze your competitors. That's the main thing that I would be utilizing the Ahrefs for. So you're going to look at their website, how many backlinks they've got, what keywords are they ranking for. That's where this tool comes in for free. Every single link I discussed today too, guys, it's down the bottom, all right? Again, all of this is free stuff. Nothing here you have to pay for. So obviously if you want the better versions, you have to pay for it, but if you're just someone that's just trying to get your leg up over your local competitor, this will suffice. The next one is Screaming Frog. So what you do with Screaming Frog is essentially it'll crawl your website and it will spit out an analysis of your website. As long as you're not above 500 pages, then the free version works. Geez, my agency, we've never paid for Screaming Frog and we utilize it all the time. So it's a brilliant tool. You're able to assess essentially the structure of your site map. I identify where, let's say that you've got too much code and things are slowing down on the site. It's a brilliant tool. You can identify, let's say you're missing just simple things like H1s. You don't have a H1 on a page, Screaming Frog will identify that. So the next one is Answer the Public. Answer the Public is sick because of this. So let's say you're looking at creating a bit of content. You don't want to be to the UK, let's set it to the States, and let's just say we're looking for dog food. So we're trying to create a bit of content because we've got a pet store, we've got a local pet store. And we understand that topical and semantic authority is definitely important. You can utilize this tool to start understanding and getting a heap of content ideas. Now, you only have 3 searches. Don't recommend paying for it, guys. It's awfully expensive. But this will help you understand like what dog food is good for pit bulls. You know, you have a ton of ideas here. You can export all of this data via a CSV as well. So you can come down here and literally see dog food advisor, dog food allergy systems. There's a ton of stuff. It's very cool. The next thing is Sitleliner. So what Sitleliner does is it's basically a duplicate content checker. You should be using this. If you plan on building out your website, you do not want one keyword to be destroyed because you've got it going on somewhere else. So let's say, as an example, back to the dog food, let's say you have premium dog food and you create 2 pages about that. So you've got a page on premium dog food and then you've got a page that says not so premium dog food. What can happen is it's called cannibalization of the keywords. So essentially they're eating each other. Google doesn't know which one's about what and which one's the original, which one's important. This tool's brilliant at analyzing that and finding out, okay, look, there's possibly this going on here. So you want to make sure that you're addressing that and you're addressing the concern of duplicate content, because the bigger your site gets, the likelihood that you will have duplicate content across the site is very, very high. Next one is Google Ads. So anyone can create a Google Ads account. If you've got a Google profile, you can create one. It's great for doing a bit of keyword research. Is it better than the tools such as the paid versions of Ahrefs and SEMrush? No, it's not. But is it good enough if you're doing something local? You better believe it. It's brilliant. So if you just simply come onto the Google Ads, let's say you're looking for a small business coach, just punch that in, get results. You can literally set it to the location where you want it to be. You can start to see how many monthly searches there are. And again, like I was saying, it's not as accurate as Ahrefs and SEMrush, but it's going to put you in the ballpark. It's going to give you a bit of an understanding of what you're up against. So that's very, very good. And you can start to get ideas as well, guys. That's something that's very good about the free tools, is ideas. Let's say you have a writer's block, you don't know what to talk about. This is where that stuff becomes brilliant. Next thing, Google Trends. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant tool. So if you want to look for things to see how they're trending. So let's have a look at SEO. So let's see how SEO's trending. It may be going up, maybe going down, who knows. You can change the times, you can change the periods, you can change it to all the way back. As you can see, there's a bit of an explosion over the last year. You can change it to worldwide, you can change it to wherever you want it to be. So as you can see, 2004, not much interest. It wasn't a big thing back then. And nowadays there's a significant amount of interest. So as you can see, it's a great tool to find. You don't want to be writing about content that's on the other side of this. You don't want to be talking about things that are going down. So that's very important that you check out that. That's Google Trends. It's a great tool. Google Analytics, another brilliant tool. Like it's free. Install it on your website. As you can see, it tells you a ton of stuff about your website. So it's very, very, very beneficial. Okay. There's 1,001 things you can do. The main thing that I love about Google Analytics is conversion tracking. You're able to track the individuals that come to your site and what they see and if they convert. Maybe your messaging is wrong and you're not getting those conversions. You can't figure that out. With this tool, you can start to understand the individuals. So like in the last 7 days, I've had 82 people visit my site. You know, the bounce rate has been around about 66%. So how long they're staying on the site? They're staying on the site for about 1 minute and 38 seconds. This is all very valuable information. Very, very valuable. Next one, again, another Google tool for free, is Google Search Console. So Google Search Console is essentially basically something that helps you with your website and helping it on, more so focused on the SEO side of it. It's a bit of a sidekick from Google, if you will. It's where you can upload your information to Google and say, hey, look at these pages, and Google will tell you how your website is performing. It's awesome. So you can find out your clicks, you can find out your impressions, so how many times certain keywords of mine have been displayed in the last 7 days. There's been a total of 31 clicks, it's saying, for particular keywords, which is interesting when you think about it, because I've had, 82 visitors, but only 31 clicks. Like I said, guys, these are free tools. They are good. Are they accurate? Not all the times, but I have gotten traffic from other means, and obviously it's not only going to be 82 clicks coming from organic search results. There would be individuals coming from Facebook or coming back to the site, but it is important you can start to check those off and start to see how accurate the tools are. But that's just a bit of food for thought. You can start to see what keywords I'm ranking for. So we wrote an article a couple of weeks ago about the Shine Ranker, which is an SEO tool. So we've had 53 impressions there. We've had 5 clicks from that. We've had an impression of 9.4%. So 10% of individuals that see that page, they like to click on it. That's basically what that is. Now, the brilliant thing about Google Search Console is you can do a ton of stuff about it, and it helps your website. I highly recommend installing it. Exploding topics is the next one. So exploding topics it's the on steroids version of Google Trends. It gets you out in front. It starts to show you what is trending compared to you having to look for what's trending. Like we had to Google SEO compared to this, which will tell us, hey, this is hot. So as an example, if we scroll down, it's been a rough few years, guys, so probably makes sense that it's up that much. But yeah, so you can see that there's a lot of other things. So YouTube Studio, like a lot of individuals, myself included, have jumped on the YouTube bandwagon. So a lot of this is up, and you can see that it's significantly up. So Power Dash, Swiss Cheese Plant, no, that's an interesting one. Cash App, all of this sort of stuff. These are topics that are starting to explode, and you get to jump out in front by creating articles around this stuff. The next one is the page speed tool. So this is a brilliant tool created by Google, again, where you can test the speed of your website. So I'll give you an example of this. So let's run the ODM site through it. When it decides to load. Anyway, what this is essentially it's going to tell you what's going on with your website and if it's up to scratch with their core web vitals. So last year Google released its core web vitals. Awesome. And basically what it is it's literally this. It's like, hey, Google doesn't want to give people pages that don't perform. Maybe Google will take heed of its own message, hopefully. But what you can do is you can analyze your page, see how it's performing, and as long as it's performing well on the mobile side of it, that's really what you want to focus on. So good work, Google. Okay, so doesn't appear to be responding. Sorry about that, guys. Literally a tool to ensure that your page is responsive, designed to test responsiveness of a page, and that's Google for you, I guess. But anyway, that is a brilliant tool. I honestly can't jump forward. It's right now it's displaying the you guys can't see it because I'm displaying the window, but it's displaying the non-responsive. Okay. When it comes to these tools, the main thing to think about is that free tools are good tools. They're good for guidance. We utilize these free tools a lot. All right, we're back now. We utilize this tool a lot to check on that. I'm not going to do that again because I don't want to lose the page. GT metric. This is another great tool for testing speed and testing the content pane. So when it comes to being free, if you're testing a site in Australia, be careful using the free version because look where the test server location is. So that's something to consider. But ultimately, it will spit out the information and say it'll give you a rating of how it's performing. It'll give you the waterfall and it'll explain to you this is what speed you're at, and it's a brilliant tool for that. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty happy with that. Something to improve your writing is the Hemingway Editor. So Hemingway Editor is absolutely brilliant when it comes to stuff like you're writing an article and you want it to be spick and span. That's where you can utilize something like this. Strongly recommend it because it's free and it can make you, like, to be completely honest, guys, I'm absolutely atrocious at writing. So, you know, I need all the help I can get. I utilize this in Grammarly and that helps me improve my content. So that's again a free tool. When it comes to Schema, massive on this. Creating Schema is very, very important. This is a free tool by Merkle. It'll help you create your schema. There's a massive list in here: your local business, organization, person, product, recipe, video, everything you need, guys. It's in here. It's a ton of stuff in here. So if you're writing an article, if you need to write a blog, if you need to do any of that, it's in here. It's brilliant. So you can copy it and then you can jump on and test it. And the final one that I have for you is SEO Minion. Now, SEO Minion is essentially a plugin that you have up here, and you can look at like web pages to ascertain what's going on the page. So you can check out not only home pages, you can check out internal pages to see internal pages and how they're looking. So you can check out links that are coming to the page. That's what I adore about this tool. You can see you've got the word count even. It speaks about absolutely everything. So it's quite powerful. It tells you the number of headings, tells you absolutely everything. If the open graph image is missing, sometimes that can be an error. It might say that it's not there, but again, it's a free tool, guys. It's a brilliant free tool. Let's try and do the Google Core Web Vital. I hope it works. If it doesn't work, then yeah, but let's try and run this through. But essentially that's been the 15 free tools, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that video. Here we go, it's working now. When you are testing this is just an advice for everyone. When you are testing, focus on mobile for the speed. I found it all the time that you can have really big, heavy websites that will still load and be, not necessarily 90, but they'll be 80, 70, quite high on the desktop. Focus on mobile. Getting your 99 is not to toot your own horn, but it's a brilliant score. So that's what you want to be focusing for. You do not want to be below 90. And you can ascertain what's going on with the website, where certain things are failing, where it's falling apart, by utilizing this. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video of the free 15 SEO tools that we utilize all the time in my agency. If you've appreciated this video, please smash that like button. Helps me out a ton. I love creating these awesome videos for you wonderful people, and it's been pretty sick. I hope you have a lovely day. Cheers.